Switching gears, a major decision from the U.S. Supreme Court today. The judges unanimously ruled to preserve access to mifepristone, one of the most commonly used abortion drugs. The case was brought by an anti-abortion group claiming the FDA failed to study the dangers of the drug. In the court's opinion, Justice Brett Kavanaugh said the group lacked legal standing. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer warns that this case, though, could return if filed by the proper party.
This decision was based not on the merits, but on a lack of standing. We are not yet out of the woods.
Now, the FDA says the drug has been used safely by millions of women for decades, and serious side effects are extremely rare. Abortion rights advocates say they expect there to be more challenges to abortion access, though, on many fronts.
And that's why they're hoping to strengthen abortion protections, including in Colorado. Denver 7's Brandon Richards shows how they plan to do that.
Well, while abortion rights advocates are thankful for the U.S. Supreme Court's decision, they also recognize their fight isn't over, including here in Colorado, which has become a haven for women seeking abortions. For Lauren Miller, the last few years have been an emotional roller coaster. It started when she learned she was pregnant with twins.
We were shocked but excited.
But then she learned one of the twins was not developing.
The main thing that we saw was that he had fluid where most of his brain should have been developing. And we went through more testing, more ultrasounds, and we just kept getting worse and worse news.
Her doctor said she'd have to have an abortion to protect her life and the life of the other twin. But because she lived in Texas, where abortion is banned, it meant she'd have to travel out of state.
We fortunately had connections to a doctor in Denver, and we were able to make the trip to Colorado, where I was able to get the abortion.
She's not alone. Since Roe was overturned in 2022, a wave of women seeking abortions have come to Colorado. Cobalt, a nonprofit that provides financial assistance to many of those women, spent $500,000 in the first quarter of this year helping women travel to Colorado. 85% of those who needed help with travel were from Texas.
Texas has one of the strictest abortion bans in the country.
But abortion rights advocates say there's no guarantee Colorado will remain that safe haven for those seeking abortions in the future.
As we know, lawmakers can come and go.
That's why they're pushing to place abortion protections into the state constitution through a ballot measure this November.
We need that extra layer of protection to make sure that abortion remains legal in Colorado for all Coloradans.
As for Lauren, she lived in fear after returning to Texas, worried she'd be in legal jeopardy.
There's just this intentionally created culture of fear and of mistrust.
That's why she testified before the U.S. Senate this week, pushing for passage of a federal law that would protect those who cross state lines to have an abortion.
There are more and more who find themselves in my situation,
hoping to spare them from some of the stress she faced. In Denver, Brandon Richard, Denver 7.
Last year, Colorado passed a shield law designed to protect people who come here for abortions. It instructs state agencies not to participate with or provide information to out-of-state investigations. Groups opposed to abortion, including the Colorado Catholic Conference, called the bill radical.
An attorney with the Alliance Defending Freedom, who argued on behalf of anti-abortion rights doctors in this case, says she's disappointed in the Supreme Court's decision. In a statement, Eric Hawley says, quote, "We will continue to advocate for women and work to restore common sense safeguards for abortion drugs, like an initial office visit to screen for ectopic pregnancies." End quote.